Let's be honest, we all like to save money, which is why half the time we'll settle for the cheapest option available. But it's not always the smartest thing to do. Some items may carry such a huge price tag that it seems bonkers to buy them. But every now and then, luxury products come along that really do deserve having a lot of money spent on them. After some extensive digging, I found 10 expensive things that are surprisingly good value for a number of reasons. And no, I haven't been paid by any of them to say this. If you agree or disagree with any, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Get someone to hide your credit card for you. Trust me, you're going to want to buy all of them.
Amazing!
Number 10. Maumasi knives. According to most chefs, a good knife is the difference between effortless pleasure and utter blood-boiling frustration. Even if your cooking only gets as adventurous as a simple salad, spending some cash on a quality blade will have you slicing and dicing cucumbers and onions like a pro. Maumasi is said to be one of the greatest living knife makers, and his handmade wares will set you back anywhere from a few $100s to upwards of $3,000, depending on the model. Chefs are adamant they'll last you a lifetime, as there's a lot of craftsmanship gone into each blade to justify the price tag. Maumasi was an apprentice of Bob Kramer, possibly the most distinguished bladesmith in the world. His knives have won multiple awards, and they are so highly sought after, he's had to stop accepting orders, as there's currently a 3-year waiting list to get one. The knives are made from Damascus steel, created by a long process of layering steel, leading to a strong and aesthetic pattern forming on the blade. According to Maumasi, the best way to sharpen a high-quality knife like this is on both sides of the cutting edge with leather, rather than a metal honing rod. The minute teeth on a blade can eventually wear out and fall off if they're sharpened with metal, but leather is a much gentler way to keep your knife sharp for decades. And if you're spending so much on a knife, you're going to want to make it last for as long as possible. Number 9. Phantom high-speed cameras. Phantom's cameras are the be-all and end-all of slow-motion video. They can do things like this, and are mainly used by scientists, researchers, and professional filmmakers. So, unless you've got major money to burn, they might be a little extravagant for your slow-motion Instagram videos. They're that good. The Slow-Mo guys, otherwise known as the internet's main authority on all things slow motion, use a Phantom camera to do their experiments. You had better stock up on hard drives though. The camera they use shoots 8 GB of footage per second. The V2640 is Phantom's top-of-the-range ultra-high-speed model and will cost you a cool $175,000 and is the fastest 4-megapixel camera available. It's often used for ballistics and stress tests and delivers an insane amount of detail in slow motion. If you're on more of a budget, their Miro midsize range has a less scary price tag, while still being able to shoot footage like this. You can pick a 320 model up on eBay for the bargain price of just under $30,000. It's not cheap, but if you want those super slow-mo shots, it's really your only option. Number 8. Lab-grown chicken. Love meat, but hate the fact that you have to kill for every mouthful? Rejoice! San Francisco-based Memphis Meats has the solution. They've discovered the recipe for the world's first meatless chicken that actually tastes just like chicken. The process uses regenerative stem cells from the birds, and the meat offers the same taste, textures, and nutritional values as regular chicken. Apparently, it's delicious. Served up as a classic southern fried chicken, taste testers gave it their seal of approval. Memphis Meats has also created duck, so it won't be long until you can enjoy your crispy pancakes guilt-free. At $6,000 per pound, their chicken's not exactly affordable right now. But this research could mean that in the future, the price will drop, and we'll be able to eat meat ethically without feeling guilty about damaging our planet or the suffering of the food caused. Number 7. Mason Pearson hairbrush. My hair is my prized possession. And if you're anything like me, you'll go to any extreme to protect every precious strand. And it seems I'm not the only one who feels like this. Mason Pearson's hairbrushes are handmade in England and are designed to massage your scalp while turning your average head of hair into the silkiest of manes. The reviews on Amazon should be enough to convince you of its majesty, with one claiming that this is not a hairbrush, it's the fingertips of God. Wow. It retails for upwards of $200. And that might seem like a lot for a hairbrush, but models and vloggers love it. And if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Number 6. Litter Robot. If you prefer spending your hard-earned cash on your pets rather than yourself, check out this litter robot that Redditors are going crazy for. The litter box is a specially designed sphere which rotates to separate any waste from the clean litter. Litter Robot founder Brad Baxter says that this is a great thing if you have more than one cat, as they don't have to suffer the humiliation of padding around in another cat's mess. It's also great for you, as you don't have to deal with the gross job of emptying dirty litter. There's also a carbon filter which absorbs waste, so you'll never have a guest asking you, "What's that smell?" ever again. Number 5. Low Tough Leather Bag. Leather accessories are often expensive, but Low Tough Leather's bags are definitely worth every penny because of just how much work and care goes into each piece. Each one is made completely by hand for the highest quality finish, and their prices definitely reflect that. Ladies' handbags go up to $3,850 for one made of 100% American alligator skin, and briefcases cost around $1,200. Sure, they're not cheap, but compared to the cost of other high-end brands, like Hermes bags, that makes them about a tenth cheaper. Low Tough seems to be cheaper and even outmatches them in terms of quality and craftsmanship. Creative director Lindy McDonough says that Low Tough's bag are worth their price tag because they're designed to last you a lifetime. Granted, it's not like the company's creative director will say anything bad, but each bag does apparently take 4 to 6 weeks to make, as it's passed from one skillful craftsperson to the next. Each hide is checked for imperfections like tick bites to ensure every piece is perfect, and up to 61 individual pieces of leather are laid out by hand and stitched together to ensure each panel matches perfectly. I suggest you don't let your significant other see this video until after Christmas. There's no way he or she won't want one of these beauties. Number 4. Grain Surfboard. Wood might not immediately seem like the most obvious material choice for a surfboard, but it's actually been used since when people first started riding waves, and the folks at Grain know that wood's where it's at. Mike LaVecchia founded Grain Surfboards through his love of classic wooden ships and of being on the water. The lovingly handcrafted process of creating a wooden surfboard takes his team between 40 and 60 hours to complete, and each one is finished to the highest imaginable standard. First, a CAD model must be made, and the wood is cut to create a skeleton. Cedar wood and glue are then used to create panels, and other strips of wood are eventually added to create the 3D shape. Once it's been sanded and shaped, it's covered in fiberglass before the hardware is added. Mid-length custom boards cost around $2,300, but if you're a bona fide surfer dude or dudette, you'll think it's worth every cent given the craftsmanship and feel of it in the water. Number 3. FALKE Socks. We all hate getting socks as gifts, right? Well, I'm willing to bet that you'd feel a little different if your granny sent you these $640 beauties. When FALKE launched their 10-pair run of limited edition socks, the world collectively smirked. But they instantly sold out, and with good reason. These cozy feet warmers are made from the wool of vicuñas, which are rare Peruvian animals found only on the Rocky Mountains of the Andes. Said to be the fiber of the gods by the Incas, the wool can only legally be shorn once every 2 years, which obviously puts it in high demand. Luxury London department store Selfridges stocked them and described the wool as the lightest, warmest, and softest fabric in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm suddenly very aware of how terrible my cheap socks are. Number 2. Sennheiser Orpheus HE1 headphones. Ever thought about spending more than $50,000 on headphones? If so, I have the perfect pair for you. This particular pair of Sennheiser headphones are said to be the best ever and are packed with unique features and state-of-the-art technology that will have rich audiophiles desperate to hand over their cash. Obviously, if you're buying headphones at this price, you want incredible sound, and you won't be disappointed. The audio range of this naughty piece of tech ranges from 8 Hz to 100 kHz, and distortion is the lowest that's ever been measured in a sound reproduction system. The sound of every instrument and the tone of every vocal is incredibly accurate. Close your eyes, and it's like you're hearing the music live. The external amplifier is a work of art. It sits atop a solid block of Carrara marble, which is the same material that was used by sculptor Michelangelo. And each dial is crafted from a solid piece of chrome-coated brass. Yes, $50,000 is ridiculous, but those who have tested it agree the sound is so damn good, it'll make you laugh. I would love to own a pair of these. Donations welcome. Before I reveal my #1 expensive item worth every penny, I have a couple of honorable mentions that deserve your attention. If you've ever fancied being more like James Bond, you can start with these Crockett & Jones shoes, which were worn by Daniel Craig in Skyfall Inspector. Each pair takes a special 8-stage process, which goes some way to justify the $500 price tag. Next up, a truly useful thing most of us can afford, and though it isn't crazy expensive anymore, SSD, or solid-state drive memory, is absolutely worth the upgrade from hard disk drives if you're in the market. Just ask these Redditors here. On average, you'll pay 5 times the price for SSD, but it's a cost worth swallowing for all the time it'll save you loading stuff. My final honorable mention is La Mer's Creme de la Mer Skin Cream. This world-famous wonder cream was developed by a burn victim to heal his skin, and it actually worked. And at $2,160 for a 16.5-ounce jar, I should hope so too. #1. Sasuke Bonsai Scissors. On to #1 in this list. These spectacular bonsai scissors from Sasuke. The world's greatest bonsai tree artists use these spectacular scissors for their art. But if that's not your jam, they do a great job of slicing through food and paper too. Master craftsman Yasuhiro Hirakawa is a 5th-generation scissor maker and learned blacksmithing from his father. He's been honing his craft for over half a century and is now the only traditional scissor maker left in Japan. His attention to detail is second to none, and he uses only the best quality raw materials for his creations. Master craftsman and blacksmith Yasuhiro, who hails from Osaka, Japan, says that handmade items possess a warmth that machine items lack. I'm not sure about that, but his incredible pieces take a week or longer to make, working 10 hours a day. That's why his most commonly sold pairs cost around $1,100, whereas his most expensive pair goes for around $32,420. Customers consult with a master scissor maker for over an hour to agree on the scissors they require, and you can understand why people are happy to fork out so much for an item they could buy inexpensively elsewhere. Good scissors don't damage bonsai trees that much, because the cut is very clean. When you're working with bonsais worth thousands of dollars, the benefits of clean cuts would pay for themselves over time. So, which item do you think is the best value for money? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and thanks for watching.